Hello, YouTube. I wanted to do this video in response to the NBA's 75th anniversary team that was announced this past week at the start of the NBA season. I've discussed this in my previous videos. I've been anticipating this list to come out, and I think have a slight boost at the very least on some of the card sales of a lot of these players that are on this list. Now, I will admit, so far I have been a little disappointed in how the NBA has made these announcements. There really hasn't been great content produced yet, either on social media or on the networks, about this list. I really feel like when they did the 50th anniversary team announcements, they had some really amazing content videos out. And then, of course, they did the great celebration during the All Star game that year. So hopefully, at the very least, they'll have a similar celebration at the All Star game this year for the 75th team. But I also hope that they'll produce some much better content that will be specifically for social media and for other media outlets, discussing these players and their careers and what made them so great. And once again, just sort of remind a lot of people out there, who a lot of these guys are and why they are on this list. And hopefully that will also impact, once again, their card markets, and and do what I think should happen for a lot of these players, which is give them at least a slight boost. Like I said, there are a lot of guys on this list that I still really think are very undervalued. Um, Guys like Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade still, Bob Pettit. I still think Elgin Baylor is a little undervalued, actually. I think Kawhi Leonard is a little undervalued right now. Isaiah Thomas is another good one, I think. But so there are a lot of guys on this list that I still think are very undervalued, that I hope will get at least a bit of a boost here pretty soon. And as far as the list goes, nothing was really very surprising about it. It's a little funny to me that they wound up having 76 players on the list because there was a tie at the end. I still be very curious who got that tie at the very end of the list, to go ahead and just put an extra person on this list for 76 total people. If you saw my personal 50 greatest players video, every single one of those guys definitely made this list. All of the original members of the 50 NBA's 50th anniversary team made this list. So really, the voters basically grandfathered all those original guys in. So it was basically just adding 25, or I guess 26 in this case, new players on this list. And the guys that they added really wasn't a surprise. There are a lot of people out there that are certainly saying so and so should have made the list. A lot of people are arguing Dwight Howard should have made the list. I'm not a believer that Dwight Howard should have made this list. I'm just still not a big Dwight Howard person. I understand he had a really good 4 or 5 year span there from like 2008 to 2012 or whatever. He was really a good player for sure. I just don't. I just wouldn't consider him one of the top 75 players of all time for sure. And there are a lot of other guys that just missed the cut. That if people would have put them in, I would have seen the argument for them. But I'm not necessarily upset that they didn't make the list. Guys like Alex English, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Dennis Johnson. Some arguments for, Bernard King is another one. And those are all, yeah, definitely great players during their time periods. Probably still just didn't have the overall careers that really warranted them to definitely be on this list. And if they would have been, okay, fine, I could see it. But I think it's fine. This list does not have them. So anyway, so that's it. I just wanted to make this video regarding this 75th anniversary team, and I'm going to be interested in tracking their card values here over the next several months, perhaps even next, perhaps even longer than that, and see how these guys do in the hobby. And I'm gonna hopefully keep on collecting some of these guys personally myself as well here pretty soon. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.